Good afternoon, good morning, and good day. Today we'll be discussing on cable management system and what are the cable management systems that we have in construction buildings while we are carrying out or executing our works or executing electrical works. What are the different cable management systems? Why we have to carry out the cable management systems? Stay tuned. You're watching makoge.com. Okay, like I did mention, we will be discussing on cable management system. What is it and why we carry out a cable management system? Okay, cable management system is it refers to management or safeguard of electrical cables or the fiber optic cables. So this cable management system is being installed in on site from one end to another end to safeguard this cable that will be pulled inside the cable management system, leaving from one end and then going to another end. So this is just for safety of the cables, so the cables should not be damaged over time. Okay, we have different cable management systems that we use in electrical projects. We have the tray trunkings, which are the cable tray, cable trunkings. We have cable ladders, we have cable baskets, and also I will explain how we carry out calculations to select the appropriate size of these different containment activities like the cable trays, cable trunking, cable ladders, cable baskets, etc. And for all these different cable management system, which I did mention, we have their different fittings that we use, and they come with different sizes. So when you carry out calculations, you have to select the appropriate size based on what is found in the market. Okay, I'll give you different sizes of cable trays, trunkings, ladders, baskets that we use in the market. For cable trunkings, we have 50 by 50 cable trunkings. We have 100 by 100. We have 100 by 50. We have 150 by 150. We have 300 by 100. We have 300 by 300. So it comes with different sizes based on what is found in the market. So when you're doing your calculation, you take into consideration what are the different sizes of cables or the different sizes of wires that need to be placed inside this cable trunking before you calculate the size which will match up with what you are laying inside. For cable ladders and cable trays, for cable trays, we have 50 by 50, we have 50 by 100, we have 50 by 150, we have 50 by 75, we have 100 by 75, we have 150 by 75, we have 250 by 75, we have also all these different sizes by 100. So it depends also on the different cables that will be pulled inside the cable trays when you're doing your calculations. So this by which I main mention on the different sizes like by 50, by 75, by 100. So this will solely depend on the height or the overall diameter of the cable. In my book, everything is being labeled. I have put everything inside that it will be very easy for us to do our cable selection and when after doing the calculations. Okay, I'll move now to the conduiting works. For the conduitings, we have galvanized irons, we have PVC conduits, we have the GMT. So basically, for all these different pipes, which I mentioned in my book, like in the EMT, we have maximum amount of wires that need to be put inside as per the British standard. So I've made everything clear in the book, which is as per BS 1387 or 1985. So All that will be found there. And then different electrical conduits, which I did mention, RMC, which is a rigid metal conduit. We have the IMC, which is intermediate metal conduit. We have electrical metallic tubing, which is the EMT. That is mostly used in various sites that we are working. We have also the electrical non-metallic tubing, which is ENT. We have flexible metal conduit, which is FMC. We have liquid tight flexible metal conduit, which is LFMC. We have rigid polyvinyl chloride, which is the rigid PVC. And then we also have the flexible um, PVC conduit as well. So that we'll be discussing, so we get to understand how this works in the construction industry. And then we have the different fittings for the different types of conduits that I did mention, and we have also different sizes. So they vary also with their sizes, like we have 20 mm, we have 25 mm, we have 32 mm, we have so it also varies also with the inch. Like in the EMT conduit, we have half inch, we have a 3 and 4 inch, we have a 1 inch, we have 2 inch, we have 4 inch. So all these are the different conduits that we use in electrical systems to carry out electrical containment works, so we will be able to safeguard our cables or our wires when we are pulling them from one end to another end, either from the distribution board going to socket outlet, or from a distribution board going to light fixture, or from data rack, or from CCTV rack going to a data outlet going to CCTV point. So it all depend on how you are carrying out this, and based on the different layout for the different electrical drawing. Okay, I'll discuss now on how to size our cable trunkings and tray. Okay, the specification for cable tray trunkings and cable ladders, we will be looking at BS 4678. So this is a British standard that have set this standard for the cable tray trunking and ladder manufacturing. So we have different fittings and the different accessories that we use for installing these different cable tray trunkings and cable ladders. So the few of them which I'll make mention, we have the channels which we use to hold these cables, or to hold these cable trays, trunkings, ladder. We have also unifix that we screw them on a suffix or on a slab to hold our rods, which I'll mention also. For the rod, we have washers, we have nuts, we have roofing bolts, we have also the clamps which we use for cable ladders. We have also roofing bolt I did mention, and then we have also spring nuts that we put inside the channel, screw them tight so it will hold our cable trays or trunking. Okay, in the book also I have made different drawings, and then I put everything so we get to understand how to carry out this different installation works, and the different sizes and the application as well. When selecting the size of cable tray trunkings or cable ladder to be used for our electrical installation works, we'll be discussing on for the LV cables, we will likely be using mostly either cable trays or cable ladder, depending on the weight also of the cable. That I meant mention also the different cables and the different weight. So if the weight is more than, or this maximum weight of this particular cable containment valve, will now switch to the next, like maybe from perforated cable trays. Now we now move to the cable ladders, if in case the cable is too heavy enough to be carried by these cable trays. Calculations now for cable trays and ladders. First, what we do is, before you choose all the required size for perforated cable trays or ladders to be used for a particular application, so what we do is you go first to the template which I put in my book, and it labels or shows the different sizes of the cable trays, trunkings, or the different cables as well, which will also show the overall cross-sectional area of the cable. It will show the overall diameter of the cable, and then also it will show the weight, the maximum weight of this particular cable. Also, we will know what to be used or what kind of containment work that we have to use for that application. Okay, what we do is we have a formula which is a total width of all cables, which is equal to the total number of cables that are supposed to run in that cable containment tray or trunkings or cable ladders, multiplied by the distance between each cable, which in this case we'll be using 20 mm as a space between two different cables. And then we have plus the total cable outer diameter. So we take the distance between the cables as the 20 mm like I did mention or greater. So the weight also of the cable will be taken into consideration to select either for cable tray or for cable ladder. So when we do our calculation, we go also on the table to select the appropriate size and the appropriate type of containment um, systems that we have to use for that particular application. So this is very clear and very important to understand this. And then we have the templates as well that I did mention. So cable trays, trunking ladders, and the PVC conduits, GI conduits, EMTs, RMCs, all these are cable management or cable or wire management system. So we have to carry out all these, do them according to standards to make sure that we get everything done properly and correctly. And then also we have to note that for each and every support that we are putting for this cable management system or for this containment works, we have to use at least 1.2 meters apart from each hangers or apart of each support. And after installing all these different containment works, we have to put labelings as per the project requirement or as per the codes and standard to ensure that when we are doing our conduit works, bringing them, connecting them to the cable trunkings, trays, ladders, basket, we get to know exactly what we are doing and where precisely these conduits are supposed to be connected to save for that particular purpose. This is very important and hope to see you next time. I hope this video makes sense, and also if there are any critics or anything that need to be added to this video, let me know, comment, so we can best improve on the quality of this video lessons. Thank you very much and hope to see you next time. At the same time, you're watching makoge.com.